I told you that your sales team potentially double their conversion rates without putting in a whole lot of extra hours. It sounds impossible, but with the right tools attached to your CRM, it's not only possible, you could practically say that it might be guaranteed. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 powerful apps that when you pair them with your CRM and your sales team, they'll supercharge your team's sales performance. Because here's the deal. Most sales teams are stuck using outdated tools. I know in the advent of technology and everybody's connected to these little devices that they have in their pocket. But with that being said, somehow sales teams are being left behind and they're wondering why the results aren't improving, why it feels like they're spending less and less time selling, which all the data shows. It says that an average sales rep only spends 27% of their time selling. That's almost 3/4 of their time dealing with other admin issues and computer and technology and friction. So that's the hard truth. So if you're not leveraging these 10 CRM integrated apps, well, you're missing out on sales opportunities every single day. And let's say, yeah, I agree with you. They may not close the opportunity for you, but what if you could get twice as much productivity out of the existing team that you have rather than go hire additional sellers? What if they could spend 50% of their time selling rather than the 27 that the average sales rep does? So if you've been searching for ways to boost your sales team's performance, but still aren't seeing the results that you want, let's cut through the clutter, because these 10 friendly apps will change the way that they sell. I used to think that improving conversion rates meant harder work and refining techniques, and that was all it was. It was like we had to teach them stuff. But after integrating just a few of these apps into our CRM process and into our sales process and flow, what we ended up seeing is that it was an awesome set of results. And that's because my team wasn't burning out in the process. One of the things that happens when you spend so little time doing your trade, a quarter of your time talking to people and selling, you just tend to get burned out. And so I can tell you from personal experience, man, I've done the thing and I've had my teams do the thing. Where it's like, hey, just do it faster. Just find a way to go harder. I don't care that it takes time. It's a necessary thing that you have to do. And that just never seemed to work. And it was a significant amount of friction between my team and I. So then put in the idea that all of a sudden I started trying to reduce friction on repeatable tasks. And we were able to do that using tech. And so we were adding in things. The very first thing I did with, if you can remember, Act software from back in like 2000, is I removed the friction between the 3 different places that we were storing prospect and customer information. And in doing so, I reduced the total amount of time and the potential errors that were occurring. And that was 20 years ago. So if you're not using some of these other apps today, then I think you're burning daylight. So I've already talked to you a little bit about why this matters so much. But in today's sales environment, it's so much more critical, because speed and precision are everything, and time to trust with your prospects and customers is what really matters. It's the new currency on win rates. These apps don't just support your sales process, they supercharge it. They give your team the tools they need to close deals faster. So if you're thinking working more hours, making more calls is the only way to boost your conversions, think again. The truth is, the right apps will absolutely hit your top and bottom line more than endless hours of cold calling. Let's talk about the 10 apps that I've been kind of referring to as we get going. And so we're going to go through this pretty quick. Going to need you to keep up because I don't want to waste your time. So the first app is Calendly, and Calendly integrates seamlessly with almost every CRM out there to automate and streamline the meeting creation and scheduling process. This tool eliminates all the back and forth of emails and makes booking meetings so much easier. And so this is a fantastic tool to shorten sales cycles, because we don't have that 2.5 weeks where we're emailing back and forth trying to figure out when everybody's schedules work. And if you're worried it's impersonal, let me tell you how I use it. I send it out, and I might send something to somebody who wants to schedule an appointment. And I'll say, "Hey Joe, great to connect with you. Would certainly love to meet. Feel free to send me some times that work for you. Or if it's easier for you, use my scheduling link below." 99% of the time, they hit the scheduling link. I haven't presupposed that they're gonna do it my way, but rather, I've given them options. So consider whether it's Calendly or something else, scheduling software to streamline your process. App number 2, Gong.io. Now, it amazes me today how few people actually do real-time coaching. And if you can't do real-time coaching, the very best thing you can do is actually after-action reviews. And Gong, what it does is it records and analyzes your sales calls. It's able to actually pick out words and objections and things that are happening so your sellers can get better context about what it is they're doing and what is actually happening in those calls. It provides actionable insights directly with your CRM, and it helps your team understand what's working. But the most important aspect that you can use about this is as follows. Coaching's tough, and you don't have the time to be on every rep's call. But the truth is, what you think's important, they should think is fascinating. And this is a great way for you to check in on your reps once a week, and you can actually leave coaching comments within the app itself at the exact moment that the coaching makes sense. So Gong will absolutely help you improve the quality of your team all the way from start to finish. App number 3, LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Now, I know many of you are probably using this, or well, at the corporate level, maybe not. But as a seller, many of you sellers are even paying for it yourself. Now, we understand LinkedIn Sales Navigator integrates with your CRM. It helps you enhance your prospecting process. Now, I get that the search functionality may not be the best on the planet, but I'll tell you what, I think there's like 2 billion people on LinkedIn who have all put their credentials in there. Think about it this way. Back in the 1990s, when I started selling, I'd walk into somebody's office and see this Rolodex. For those of you who are too young to know that, look it up. It's this thing with cards. I'd see this Rolodex on somebody's desk. And I'd be like, man, if I could only get into their Rolodex to understand who they know. Well, now that's all right there on LinkedIn. You can go look at their connections. You can find their stuff, their interests, their hobbies, how often they post, what they post about. So LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a great way to add a personal touch as well as have a way to do a great amount of outreach, whether it's to say people you know, or to find people who are in specific industries with specific interests. App number 4, DocuSign. Now, it really amazes me. Last week, I was actually doing a deal with a company. And do you know that they don't use an e-sign software? How antiquated does that feel? They're a technology company. Talk about adding a point of friction and a point of kind of 2020 hindsight right as your prospects are about to sign. So as an example, DocuSign makes closing deals faster by allowing your team to send, sign, and manage contracts directly through your CRM. This integration speeds up the sales cycle and reduces the friction in your closing process. But more importantly, it simplifies the paperwork process, which is generally a disaster when you're selling to bigger companies. So it's gonna make it easier to finalize deals quickly. So DocuSign is a fantastic way to speed up sales cycles. App number 5, Vidyard. Vidyard allows your team to send personalized video messages directly from your CRM. Now, that's amazing. It makes your outreach stand out in a crowded inbox. It's a unique way to engage prospects and boost response rates. But did you know that it's also a great way to pitch and give proposals, to review proposal content? Because there's a lot of people who are just sending out a proposal and then they're hoping somebody gets back to them. But what if I could send a proposal with a video explaining the most important parts, dealing with what the natural friction is going to be? Oh, and by the way, Vidyard's cool because it's going to tell me who's watched the video. It's going to tell me how long they watched it. So when they take that in and they've got their proposal and they're forwarding it on, you're going to see that trail and how many people have watched it. So Vidyard is a fantastic way to get deeper insight to how engaged your prospects are. And it's a fantastic way to actually help with your outreach because the stats show that video gets opens. App number 6, PandaDoc. PandaDoc integrates with your CRM to streamline the proposal and contract process. You've already seen that we've started to talk about a lot of the stuff we're trying to do is get through the administrative problems and the administrative things that normally take a lot of going back and forth, right? I send an email at 9, Johnny doesn't see it till 12. Johnny has to check with Susie, who then doesn't get back to me till 4. Oh, and I was in a meeting till 4. I didn't respond till after office hours, and now all of a sudden we've lost 24 hours. So PandaDoc's great because it offers customizable templates that are easy along with the e-signature process. This app can help you speed up deal closures by making the proposal process more efficient. And so by doing that more quickly, you can reduce the time to close deals. And as you see here, if we can reduce the time to close deals, we can improve the sales velocity of a pipeline, and that gives us more time to push more deals through. So PandaDoc is app number 6. App number 7, Zoom Info. Now, it's super critical these days to enrich the data that you have on your prospects and clients. So Zoom Info enriches your CRM, and it does so with accurate and up-to-date contact information. It's fantastic because it's going to help your team reach the right decision makers faster. I'd be remiss if I didn't say it also has some things that are well beyond just contact enrichment. Whether it's intent markers, it has an ABM aspect. Zoom Info is a fantastic way to help your team actually make sure that they're putting their energy and their efforts into the things that are most efficient. So Zoom Info is app number 7. App number 8, Yesware. Yesware integrates with your CRM to provide email tracking. It also does automated follow-ups, analytics, and it will help your team know exactly when to reach out, increasing the likelihood of engagement and connecting with your prospects. So Yesware's insights are very, very cool because they can help optimize the timing and the content of your follow-ups. And think about that. If you just knew when to follow up when somebody was most likely to respond, how much greater would your impact be as a seller? So this will help drive higher engagement rates, higher conversions, and a more significant amount of true sales conversations. App number 9, Chili Piper. Now, Chili Piper is kind of this interesting secret that not many people know about. Well, I mean, they've got a big company, so some people know about it, but I still think that it's kind of one of those things that those in the know, and those who aren't in the know just don't know. Chili Piper optimizes your CRM scheduling functionality by automating the booking process for inbound leads. And you're like, well, cool, Ken, you've already talked about other schedules, so what does that mean? But it ensures that qualified prospects can connect with sales reps immediately. And what's best about that is it can automatically route them based on specific criteria. And therefore, it's going to the right people and getting the right responses. Now, you may say, well, we have it come to an info@ourcompany.com email address. Let me give you one little tip that's going to help you understand how important it is to get the actual routing of these right and the follow-up correct. They say that 67% of the time, the first vendor to respond wins the deal. And those response rates are critical under time. How long is it taking before an inbound lead actually gets to engage with somebody on your team? Because the real time frame should be somewhere between 5 and 60 minutes after they've requested to talk to you. And so that's something that we have to find a way to do because that will speed up sales cycles and that will definitely enhance conversion rates. And Chili Piper is a very cool tool to help you do just that because it can manage those tasks and it'll manage those follow-ups substantially more effectively, increasing the likelihood of higher conversions. App number 10, Trello. Trello helps your sales team stay organized and on track by integrating task management directly with your CRM. Now, it ensures that everyone stays aligned on their priorities and the priorities of the team, and that nothing falls through the cracks. Because if you're like most sellers, it's not necessarily true, but I'm gonna call it that way anyway. A lot of sellers, we've got so much going on, we just don't know where we're supposed to start and stop sometimes. We gotta find a way to get organized because organized sellers are substantially more efficient and they spend more time selling. So we really want to help our sales teams find a way to manage those tasks and priorities more effectively because that's going to lead to better conversion outcomes. To recap, the 10 best apps that can double your sales team's conversion rates are Calendly, Gong.io, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, DocuSign, Vidyard, PandaDoc, Zoom Info, Yesware, Chili Piper, and Trello. These tools are essential for any sales team looking to maximize their efficiency and conversion rates. They're essential if you want your sellers to spend more time selling. Because that administrative work that I've been talking about that we're knocking out is actually time that's out of their day. And so rather than go hire another seller, why don't we just go decrease the amount of workload that our existing team has, empower them to be more efficient, empower them to help create and crush quota, and not take on the risk of brand new blood that we don't know. So if you're ready to take your sales team's performance to the next level, and I think you are, then hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. And don't miss our next video because every single video talks to you about how to become more efficient, sell more deals, and get more out of the existing team that you have. And if that's not good enough for you, what if I could show you a way that was 90% effective at hiring star salespeople? Those are the types of things that we cover on our YouTube channel and all of our other social media. So hit that like and that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the near future.